Welcome to the Book of Wretch, where stories of the macabre and supernatural are told. We ask all of the lost, the damned, and everything in between to join us for yet another spine-chilling tale. With that said, let's begin. The old cabin sat deep within the woods, its timbers weathered and its windows boarded up as if to keep the outside world at bay. Ivy snaked his way up the sides, clutching at the walls with twisted fingers. It was the kind of place forgotten by time, and tonight it would become a haunting reminder of solitude. Lila had come seeking solace, a break from the chaos of her life. A weekend alone sounded like bliss, a chance to reset her mind amidst the tranquility of nature. But as the sun dipped below the horizon, a sense of unease settled over her like a shroud. Inside the cabin, shadows danced in the flickering light of her lantern. The air was thick with dust and a musty scent that seemed to cling to her skin. She tried to shake off the feeling of being watched as she unpacked her meager belongings, a change of clothes, some food, and a worn journal. The night fell swiftly, swallowing the forest in an inky blackness. Lila huddled by the crackling fireplace, its warmth doing little to ease the chill in her bones. The wind whispered through the trees, a mournful sound that seemed to echo the ache in her own heart. Then came the tapping, a soft, insistent rapping at the boarded-up windows. Lila froze, her heart hammering in her chest. She told herself it was just the branches, the wind playing tricks on her mind. But the tapping grew louder, more urgent, until it felt like the very walls of the cabin were alive with unseen hands. With trembling fingers, Lila reached for her journal, desperate to distract herself from the mounting fear. She flipped through its pages, the faded ink of her thoughts offering little comfort. And then she saw it, a passage she didn't remember writing, in a handwriting that was not her own. "I see you." The words seemed to leap off the page, mocking her from the safety of the written word. A cold sweat broke out across Lila's skin as she looked up, her eyes darting around the darkened room. The tapping had stopped, replaced by an eerie silence that pressed in on her from all sides. And then she heard it, the creak of a floorboard, the whisper of footsteps on old wood. Panic seized her as she realized she was no longer alone in the cabin. Something was with her, something that had slipped through the cracks of this forgotten place. She clutched the journal to her chest, her breath coming in ragged gasps. There was nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. The darkness seemed to pulse around her, as if it was alive with malevolence. And then, just as suddenly as it had begun, the presence was gone. The footsteps faded into nothingness, leaving Lila alone once more in the suffocating silence. The morning brought no solace, no relief from the horrors of the night. Lila fled from the cabin, her heart still pounding with the memory of what lurked within its walls. To this day, she cannot explain what happened in that forgotten place. Some say it was the ghost of a lost soul, trapped between this world and the next. Others whisper of darker things, of ancient evils that hunger for the souls of the living. But one thing is certain, Lila will never forget the terror of being alone in the darkness, with something always watching, always waiting, just beyond the edge of her very sanity. So until next time, I hope you join us when we open the Book of Wretch yet again. But remember, be careful when you enter the mind of a wretched. You may just leave a wretch. Good night and pleasant nightmares.